When I talked to Sean, the story he wanted to tell was really a dynamic, true story about these brothers that was full of love and compassion and the nuance of the relationship.
There were these kind of like country boys, and they had this father figure who really rode them and drove them to superstardom.
Now, we all know Carrie's my favorite, then Kev, then David, then Mike. But the rankings can always change.
His dad is using his sons to make his dream when he was younger a reality and teaching them the only way that he knows how, which is to be the biggest, the best, the strongest. It's hard. It drives all the brothers to various extremes. The Von Erich brothers, who were the biggest rock stars in wrestling to ever come out of Texas.
The Von Erichs revolutionized the sport in the 1980s.
They were godlike. They were like comic book heroes.
We knew when we kicked that door open, it was gonna blow open, and the people would freak.
Walking into the ring and being in the ring together, the three brothers, that was a big moment in wrestling where it was like real rock and roll fandom. That energy was something that we held as like, okay, if we can get that right. And I remember the day we shot that, we didn't think of it as a wrestling scene, we thought of it as a scene and what is the best way to tell a story and the emotion to connect to. Whether it's being close and handheld or being farther away and zooming in or zooming out, we just approached it like any other scene we would and made decisions based on that.
It was fun. It was like a long choreographed shot as well, right?
Was that the single sort of take deal?
Our DP, Matthias, he wanted to be in one shot.
Matthias and I would step in and talk about how we'd shoot it, but we approached it like any scene.
There was this kind of really cool rig set up to pull the camera along. And I'll say this, I think we'd probably rehearsed it successfully all the way through with being on time, like maybe once or twice, like where we all hit the moves at the same time.
Yeah.
But as soon as we did, I think it was like the first take. Somehow we came out in full wardrobe with the full audience and emerged from backstage, walked down, and the match started, and we just did it in the first day.
And we had to like slide under at the same time.
That's right, we all slid.
We had to like hit the ring at the exact same time.
And I don't think we had ever done that. Like,
no, we hadn't done it like real time.
Yeah. The whole movie was shot on film, and I do feel like when you shoot on film, there is like a little extra like pressure and like something kind of magic can happen really fast.
Preparing to play Kevin was one of the most challenging things I've ever done physically. I started the most rigorous training and diet programs that I've ever been on in my entire life. It was very tough.
When Zac played me, it went so much deeper than I thought. He knew everything about me.
It was a really big insight for me into who Kevin was. It's crazy what happened to him, but you can see the dedication that he was willing to put into his physicality and into wrestling.
I've been so impressed by Zac. His physical transformation is out of this world. He's super sweet and generous.
We just got lucky in the sense that like Zac, his like work ethic and preparation was so extreme and impressive. And then Harris and I were getting competitive with our training, like a healthy competition.
All the wrestling you see in this movie is done by our actors. They all brought it every single day. They wanted to learn. I didn't have to push them or get them fired up.
It was tough.
You kind of have to do it yourself in this case. You really need to learn the basics. I mean, I feel like in the beginning, it was just falling kind of over and over and over again. It was demanding. I mean, those first couple of weeks were
They were taxing.
were rough. We definitely had some like bruises and soreness.
I had to get them feeling very, very comfortable doing that, and it hurts. Of course, I always have them practice on me, so if they're gonna mess up, they're messing up on my face.
I didn't hit either of you guys. I know I hit Chavo like clean hard in the jaw one time. But no.
I definitely hit Chavo.
Yeah. Thanks, Chavo.
Sorry, Chavo.
In the scene with Zac and Chavo, Kevin's signature move was a flying crossbody off the top rope.
And I'm gonna go straight up top, so don't leave me there too long. Okay, crossbody.
Chavo played the Sheik, and we were walking to the ring so we could set up. and the crowd got on their feet and started booing, and it was incredible. For Zac in particular, the high-flying stuff was the focus, how he'd be comfortable flying off the top rope, doing the crossbody.
When we're in the ring for these high-flying moves, you just gotta go for it. You can't be afraid. When you jump 15 feet in the air, you have to jump 15 feet in the air. There's no wires. We use no wires.
Kevin getting up to the top rope.
Zac Efron was coming off the top 15 feet in the ring, not to a crash pad. He was to the mat.
Chavo had Zac climb up to the top rope, focusing on this high-flying stuff, which is scary, and that's a big fall.
Really painful. It sucks. Falling on the mat, after you hit your head on it a few times, it's not soft.
You had some height, yeah. You were getting air on those.
Yeah, I remember just being so high over the ring, and Chavo was tiny, and I'm looking at him like, this is gonna suck. Yeah. And I like froze in midair. I remember I hit Chavo super hard, and I look up kind of in a daze, and I see this guy who is an extra. He stands up and goes, "Oh, now you're flying, boy." There you go. Thanks. Yeah, have a good one.
So, what do you want in life, Kevin Born Erich?
More ribs?
In the scene with Pam at the diner, Kevin can talk, can express himself.
She can sort of penetrate the person she's speaking to and forces them to be quite vulnerable, which really works with Kevin because he's a really sort of emotionally repressed person. He doesn't know how to express his feelings.
I want to be world heavyweight champion.
And is that all you want?
No, of course not. I want to be with my family.
For me, one of the biggest things about the film is Kevin not only surviving tragedy, but also shaking the family curse, which of course is not the actual curse, but it is the constructs of masculinity.
Pam helps him break this cycle, having to be the best or perfect. She kind of represents unconditional love.
I don't believe in curses, and I don't believe in luck. I think we make our own luck.
Life is hard, and you play the cards you're dealt. So I just got off my butt and started living again. Pam loved it. She cried. I say I cried too, a couple of times. And I'm not like that.
They were really each other's rocks. It's a beautiful love story within such a lot of pain and sadness and grief.
He's such an amazing guy. He's lost so much and then built everything back up again with his own family.
Ultimately, it's the story of a guy who successfully breaks a vicious cycle in his family and is able to rise above.